Will Jesus punish me for working with Hekate? Hello witches, I'm answering questions I've gotten on videos about Hekate. If you have a question, see if I've answered it in a video on the playlist. If not, leave it in the comments. Coming in with the big questions. I'm an ex-Christian and many of my videos are about deconstruction, but I'm not going to judge anyone for working with the Christian pantheon. I will judge you for trying to force your beliefs on other people. But I don't think anyone who's asking this kind of question is in that camp. I just wanted to clear that up before we get started. I don't hate Christians. I hate their behavior. It's a hate the sin, love the sinner type situation for me. I've told part of my story in another video about how Jesus himself led me out of the church. I believe that most supernatural iterations of Jesus link him in as a loving, compassionate being. The Kuan Yin of Christianity, if you will. I can still feel that the same Jesus who comforted me in the depths of my pre-deconstruction despair is still watching over me from a distance, which makes me happy, to be honest. So, no, Jesus will not punish you for working with Hekate, because punishing is not in his nature. With me, he also doesn't seem to care about other deities as long as you're loving and compassionate toward other people. But let's talk about the Christian God, or shall we call him the Father? I don't know. I'm a polytheist, so here on my page we don't pretend that there's only one God. Christianity has several gods, one of which is Satan, but I digress. Jesus and the Father, what I usually simply call the Christian God, are not the same being. The people who invented the Trinity knew that. They just thought that if they punished people enough, they'd beat the blasphemy out of the world. And they sort of did for several hundred years. But we're done with that shit now. I don't trust the Christian God. I think he's vengeful, spiteful, and full of himself. So when you ask, will the Christian God punish me for working with Hekate? The answer is, he might try. The good news is that even without you doing anything, Hekate is protecting you. She's fully fucking aware of this asshole and is, in my opinion, UPG, calling so many people because she's sick of his shit. And she knows her followers need to be shielded from him. When I say that the Christian God might try to punish you, I don't mean he's going to throw you into hell for all eternity. The only people who will experience hell are the ones who haven't removed that from their thought forms before they die. I completely believe hell is a real place on the astral plane, just like Valhalla, Hades, Sheol, and millions of versions of heaven, one for each person that believes in it. That's another side discussion, but suffice it to say, the spiritual work you do in this life leads to what happens in Bardo and your next life. So here in this life, the Christian God might stomp his feet and attempt to cause trouble for you, just like a human whose bad side you got on might try to curse you. Okay, class, what do we do to stop curses? We shield and protect. Yes, you can shield and protect against gods because, after all, what we're shielding and protecting against are supernatural influences, and gods and deities are a supernatural influence. Do I think you need it? I don't know. Your biggest roadblock from the Christian God is likely to be the other people who shun, demean, and pressure you in an attempt to get you to acquiesce. If there was one punishment you got from him, it's most likely to be your devoutly Christian mother staging an intervention with the entire extended family at Thanksgiving. You might be able to stop that ahead of time if you get far enough ahead of it with your protection spell, but you might also just get to have the opportunity to learn how to set and hold firm boundaries instead. So if the question is, do I need to be afraid of the Christian God? I answer no. Fear is a waste of time. Take that energy and put it into connecting with Hekate to build your natural protection, learn how to protect and shield, and go out and be happy. Hekate knows we couldn't allow ourselves to be happy in Christianity. Do something you love as a rebellious declaration of sovereignty. It'll get better if you just keep swimming.